What's up guys, it's Zero here. The Cyberpunk Orion location. Let's talk about it. So with the successful release of Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, a lot of us as fans are looking forward to the future. The future looks really bright for Cyberpunk as a franchise, as cdprojektred has doubled down on this franchise, moving the core people who worked on Cyberpunk 2077 out to Boston to work on Cyberpunk Orion. The Cyberpunk Orion location is an interesting one for a number of reasons, but the main one being the name alone, that being Project Orion, which is the code name for the second continuation of this franchise. And obviously Orion could mean a multitude of things, but a lot of people and a lot of indications are pointing to that this could very well really double down on a space theme in Cyberpunk Orion. Obviously in Cyberpunk 2077 there are a lot of, space stations and things of that nature, and obviously Night City in 2077 has come a long way, right? There's a lot of power and then there's a lot of poverty, but at the same time, the things in between, there's so much history there to be explored, and obviously moving into potentially the future, depending on what cdprojektred decides to do next, if they go into the future with Cyberpunk Orion, I think there is a really good chance that they're going to be moving in a direction of space. Space travel or interstellar travel could be a really fascinating component here in Cyberpunk Orion. Not saying that they're going to get completely away from Night City or the roots of Cyberpunk, but I do think that we're going to be getting some new locations in Cyberpunk Orion. Cyberpunk 2077 already has in place some lore in which there is already a history of the Night City Holocaust, which involved a nuclear weapon being detonated in one of Arasaka's towers in 2023, thanks in large part to Johnny Silverhand himself. The upcoming Project Orion could build upon the foundation with potentially involving another nuclear blast or nuclear warfare in following Johnny Silverhand's legacy. This would be another really interesting concept in terms of what they could potentially do in Cyberpunk Orion. Could that change the location in which we're playing in Cyberpunk Orion? Maybe or maybe not, but I do think that there's a number of things here that could point us in a direction of somewhat of the future of Cyberpunk in terms of cdprojektred deciding to go into the future instead of a direct continuation from Cyberpunk 2077 or the past. In my personal opinion, I do believe that Night City is going to still continue being a living, breathing place in Cyberpunk Orion, but I do think that there's going to be some new locations in the future. Cyberpunk Orion has a ton of anticipation and hype building behind it, especially with what we got, the very last thing, that being Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, which was the one and only DLC we got for the game. I believe that cdprojektred has earned our trust in terms of the vision of where they want to go with this franchise, because obviously a game that started off so shaky with Cyberpunk 2077 at launch, they believed in the product, doubled down on it, investing hundreds of millions of dollars to get it into a stable place, and look at where it is now. One of the greatest games and the greatest comeback story, in my personal opinion, in video game history. Do I want them to go completely away from Night City? Absolutely not. I think Night City is a great starting point, and I think that obviously them adding new locations is going to build upon the legacy, build upon the lore, the story that is Cyberpunk moving forward. But could they also implement, space themes, or us going to space, or, different types of interstellar travel? That is a fascinating ordeal. I'm all for exploring those things if that's what they decide to do. There's also been a lot of talk that they're going to combine Cyberpunk or intertwine it into the Witcher franchise, which once again would be a really fascinating ordeal. If they were to do that in some way, shape, or form, I feel like they would need to be going into the past and somehow intertwining these two stories. There's obviously a lot of similarities between Cyberpunk 2077 and the Witcher series. I would personally like to see them kind of keep those things separated, even though it would be a fascinating narrative to say the least. It'll be really interesting to see what cdprojektred decides to do with Cyberpunk Orion, and I would love to hear your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. And at the end of the gameplay, watch my next Cyberpunk Orion video. And if you guys enjoy it, make sure you leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, just keep grinding, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.
Could have chromed half the city with what he was packing.
Probably what happened. Body disappeared from the morgue, sight unseen. And then some pig got himself a new set of wheels and an ugly-ass suit.
Know that? Or just talking out your ass again?
Once you've seen all I've seen, don't need to know things to know them. People are the same everywhere.
Okay, it's coming out your ass. Terminal crashed right as he went through the gate. Glitch was no accident.
Nah. Seen stranger coincidences.
Like?
Like when you bang some chick and then her sister later, same night. And it turns out they're both sisters of God.
That really happened to you?
Nah. But it could've.
They left literally seconds before the attack. Looks planned. Like it was done on purpose.
That or the Psycho saw his chance and took it. Don't get paranoid on me.
Who's the Hulk guy?
No idea. Those ass clowns are all the same.
Police. Let him in?
Let him wait. It's important. Gotta speak to the mayor's chief of security.
Preem, do it after the conference.
Cop wanted to tell security something.
Probably that he was standing by to lick Ryan's butthole.
Preem, do it after the conference.
The tune. Don't recognize it.
Tune.
Woody's humming.
Wouldn't call that a tune.
He's really into it.
Second conference in 3 days. No idea what this blitz is for.
That's why I'm mayor and you're not. Now's when we need the visibility.
You're spreading yourself too thin.
I'll rest tonight. My room at the Red Queen's race is ready.
Yes, of course.
Good. Now go. Gotta practice.
Red Queen's race. Cause any intersynapse zaps?
Sure, bunch of old Brit farts in powdered wigs shouting, "Off with their heads!"
You know, you're allowed to say you don't have a clue.
Anything at all? Or are we paranoid?
Whole thing stinks worse than Coronado Bay in July.
Huh. So suspicions confirmed. Any questions at this point?
Cop who saved Ryan. Know anything about him?
Detective River Ward. Good guy. We worked a few cases together. You want to talk to him, I'll put you in touch.
Sheesh. Ward had great timing. Either has crazy good luck or had a source. Got good info. I'm gonna need some of each. Well said.
Sending you his deeds. If you need anything else, let us know. We'll help.